Hello everyone, welcome to my art studio. My name is Izabela Gabrielson and I'm happy to be a part of the first Winterfest of Polish Festival Seattle. I'll be showing you today how to paint a cardinal using watercolors on paper. I hope you have a great holiday season and I wanted to wish you wesołych świąt Bożego Narodzenia. Merry Christmas! So first I'm going to show you what materials I'm going to use. I have cold press watercolor paper. There are many different kinds on the market, many different brands. I like fluid, it's 100% cotton, and I'm using a size 6x8. I like this paper because it is cold press, so it has a little tooth, but not too much. I'm also using Daniel Smith watercolors. Daniel Smith watercolors are really amazing, absolutely amazing quality, granulation, and these are my favorite paints. And here I have a smaller set of Daniel Smith as well. And here I have an old tin box by Schminke, but inside I have Daniel Smith watercolors as well. These are my favorite watercolors, but again, there are many different brands on the market, and the best way to find the one you like is to try different ones. But if you are just starting out, the least expensive school grade watercolors, Crayola watercolors will do just fine. I'm also going to use squirrel brush. I prefer squirrel brushes. All my brushes are squirrel. Again, over the years while painting, I found what works best for me. You might find that you like sable brushes better, or that you like synthetic brushes better. It all really depends on your personal preference. If you're starting out, just the least expensive brush will do. I am going to use a mechanical pencil. I like mechanical pencils because this pencil allows me a very consistent line and I don't have to sharpen it. But if you have just a regular pencil, an HB pencil will work just fine. I also have a very simple spray bottle, and I'm going to use this water to revive my paints. So I'm going to spray on my paints. Of course, you can use a wet brush, it will work just fine. I also have a piece of paper towel here, and I have my water cup with clean water. Any form can be reduced to simple geometric shapes, and that's what I'm going to start with. For my cardinal's head, I'm going to draw a circle. And for his body, I'm going to draw an oval. Maybe it's too close to an edge. I'm actually going to move this circle here, and I'm going to draw an oval for his body and a triangle for his beak. Now that I have these simple shapes, I can connect them to give my bird a little bit of a shape. So a cardinal has this little mohawk here, and I can give it its wing. Of course, while drawing a bird that you do not have in front of you, a wild bird, it's good to look at reference photos. You can find plenty of them on the internet that are copyright free, ready to use. And here's the tail for my bird. Now I can erase some of these lines because I don't want such strong lines here. They were just to guide me, and at this point you can hardly see the drawing, but it's there. And once you have it sketched out, you really don't need the strong outline to paint. I would like my cardinal to sit on a branch, so I'll sketch quickly a branch that my bird is sitting on. I like to make it diagonal, so it's a little more dynamic versus just a straight horizontal line. Now we can start painting. So first I'm going to paint my entire bird with yellow ochre. That's going to be the color of my underpainting. I'm going to first paint with just water to wet my paper. Because I don't want any colors outside of the bird just yet, I'm not spraying my paper. I'm controlling my water with my brush. Now I can grab some yellow ochre and introduce it into my bird. When I think it's too bright, I just wet my brush and drag around the paint to make it move around my paper. My paint will go only where I have water on paper. It's not going to go anywhere else. So while my painting is still wet, I'm going to start introducing reds. Because I put yellow ochre as an underpainting, my red is already warmed up. It has a little bit of an orange hue. And again, I'm pushing this red around the entire body of my bird, even though in these areas he's going to have his eye and he's going to have a black part of his beak. I will come in with darker paint at the end and paint in those details. His beak has a little bit of red too, so I'm going to push this paint around. Maybe I'll need to leave some space for his eye, so I just moved a little bit of this paint with a clean brush. And as you can see, I'm tapping with my brush on paper towels to get rid of excess water. We'll continue with red here. This underpainting dries very quickly, so I really don't have to worry about these colors running into each other, and even if they did, it wouldn't be a big deal. All right, so now I'm going to start deepening my red. I have quite a few different reds here that I can mix. I also have old spots of neutral tint and ochre on my palette, and I can mix them, and also some blue, so I can mix them to make my own darker hue. And maybe some purple too. There we go. So now I'm going to start introducing these darker colors, these darker feathers on my bird. This is a little too bitsy, and I think I need to add a little more Mayan red and maybe a little bit of yellow too. I don't like to paint with colors straight from the box. I like to mix my own, and again, Daniel Smith watercolors are incredible if you want to mix your own colors. They're just amazing. Here's his head, and we'll leave that space for his eye. We'll add some color to his beak, and he's getting a little dark, so I'm introducing some yellow to give him some warmer tones. Now I'm going to use Payne's blue-gray and introduce some darker hues while my painting is still wet. So I am painting my bird wet in wet. I'm not really letting my paper dry. I want the colors to blend. I want them to bleed into each other. Now for the branch, I'm going to use raw umber violet. I'm going to use lunar blue and Alvaro Castañet's caliente gray. So I'm adding some color to my branch now. Again, as you can see, my brush is pretty wet. There's a lot of water on my brush and I'm just pushing the paint around. There's so much paint on my brush, and again, a squirrel brush holds a lot of paint and a lot of water. And I'll just keep going, and I want to add some red here as well. I don't want his belly to be so flat, so I'm going to add some feathers. Now the area of his face is dry, so I'm going to add the dark part of his face. I'm going to start with Payne's blue-gray because I don't like to use black, and just add feathers with tiny strokes with the tip of my brush around here. My brush is much drier now than it was before because I don't want a big blue-gray puddle here. I just want a little bit of soft dark color, and my birdie has his eye here, and we're going to extend the the dark color, I'm sorry, not black, the dark color here. I'll leave a little bit of light, and I can darken the eye later, but for now it's just fine. And I'll come in with more red here, and that red might bleed with my blue-gray, and that's okay. A little bit of bleeding will soften the transition between these two colors and make the bird look a little more natural. Again, we need more darker tones here, and a little bit of yellow ochre for his beak. So it's not all that red. There is red, of course, but it's not the only color that our cardinal has in his beak. It will make his mohawk a little darker. And here I would like some yellow. There we go. To brighten up his belly. And now we can add some detail, maybe neutral tint mixed with Payne's blue-gray, and add some details to our branch. Add some shadows. Now I'm going to get nice dark color for his feet, but I want my brush to be almost completely dry. There he is. And just add some abstract background. We can imagine that these are some berries behind the cardinal, and this abstract background helps add a little dimension to our painting. So now all it needs is my signature, and I'm going to sign it in the corner. And there it is. Here's our cardinal. I hope that you enjoyed this demo and that you learned something, and that you'll grab your paints and paint your own cardinal. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have fun painting!